Surprise, surprise. Now for a story which will bring together 3 different parts of the world, the UK, Australia and America. Here to tell us more, please welcome Megan Powell. Megan, welcome to Surprise, surprise. Let's get to know you a little bit more. Where are you from?
So originally from Melbourne in Australia and moved over to the UK about 11 years ago.
But you've still got family in Australia, haven't you?
Yes, that's right. My mum, brother, my dad and a couple of stepsisters as well.
Okay, but your mum was actually born in the UK originally?
Yeah, that's right. She moved out there about 45 years ago. She was a 10-pound pom back in the days. So
okay.
Went over on a boat, took about 5 weeks to get there and has lived there ever since. So.
As you were growing up, your mum told you that you had a half-brother?
Yes,
in your
that's
life.
Right. I was around about 12 years old when I found out, and ever since I found out about him, all I wanted to do was meet him and find him, and it was definitely a big part of my decision for coming over to the UK.
So what did you do to try and find him? Which avenues did you go down?
So many years ago, it was impossible to trace from this side of the family, only if you were the adopted person. So I spent many hours in the London Record Centre looking at these huge books with tiny little typewritten face to order adoption certificates.
So you carried on your search, and in 2005 that was key because the rules changed, and this meant that you could get an intermediary from an agency to come and help you. So just explain to everyone at home what that actually means.
With the law change, I was able to use NORCAP, who are an adoption agency, and they were able to arrange for the adoption files to come to them. They could then find out his adopted name as well, and they were able to look for him on our behalf. And it took many years. We first realised he wasn't in the UK, and then found out that he was in America.
Wow.
Had various addresses that we wrote to over the years and had letters come back unanswered each time. And then finally, earlier this year, decided to send a letter to his parents here in the UK, so they had an address for him.
So this is his adoptive parents?
Yes, that's right.
Now that's a risky thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be, because they could have blocked it, but fortunately they're so supportive and just wonderful. They passed it on, and Richard got in touch, so it was a wonderful day.
So how did you feel when he got in touch? Did he call you?
I remember being at work at the time and I had to sit down and I was teary and smiling and all those things, and in shock as well. And I then rang my mum in Australia, and it was about 11 o'clock at night. She was on her way to bed, and it was just a wonderful moment on the phone to be able to just say that I found him, and to give her that news. And we had a nice little silent pause on the phone. There was just so much emotion in it, and she just said thank you over and over again. And
but you've never met him? Never
met him. We've had email conversations and Skype, but I think until you meet someone in person, you never really know them. You never, so.
Well, audience, I think you know what's coming next. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the USA to meet his Australian half-sister, please welcome Richard Wing. Come and take a seat.
Have another phone.
Oh, a round of applause. Take a long, good look at one another. This is the first time you've met.
That's great. Thank you.
I bet it feels pretty unreal, does it?
It's amazing. It really is. I almost want to say I'm lost for words, but it's taken us 47 years to get to here.
Yes, it has. And it's been a long time for Megan, who's been trying to track you down most of her life.
I know.
And you had no idea that you had a half-sister, did you?
Nope. Gone through, well, all 47 years not knowing, and never knowing.
So what was it like when you received that letter the first time?
My parents got it, and I said, open the letter, read to me, tell me what it's about. Well, they're reading it, and I agonised for a couple of weeks about what to do about this. Because it's like Pandora's box. Once you open that box, there's no going back.
Were you fearful of what you'd find?
Initially, yes. And then Joan emailed me very shortly, and then Megan, and gradually gaps in my life started to get filled in.
Joan is your mother, your birth mother.
Yes.
And did you have any idea why she put you up for adoption in the first place?
No, never. I had no idea.
And did you wonder throughout your life who your birth mother was?
Often. And, agonised it. But I've always known, ever since before my brother was born, I'd always known.
Well, I have to say that your adoptive parents sound like really incredible people. And I know they're here tonight, and I think we should just give them a little round of applause as well. So, Megan left Australia to find her brother, and Richard's come from America to meet her, but there is one piece of the jigsaw missing. Richard, are you ready to meet your mother?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Well, she hasn't seen her son since he was 10 weeks old, but she's come from Australia to be with him tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Joan. Oh, Joan.
I'm sorry.
No, don't you apologise. Please don't. I can't imagine what that moment must have been like for you there. That moment you've been waiting for since he was 10 weeks old.
I've been searching for him for so long. So long.
So what was the reason in the first place that you chose to put him up for adoption? Because that can't have been easy.
No, well, I was on my own. My mum was a single mum with 2 daughters. I knew we lived in a 2-bedroom flat. I knew I couldn't afford to bring him up and give him a good home. And I wasn't really ready to get married. So I put him up for adoption so he'd have a good home and a good upbringing.
And you've never forgotten him?
No, I've told him. I've wished him happy birthday every March the 1st.
And you've got that photo with you today, and this is a photo of pretty much the last time that you saw him.
Pretty much.
When he was a tiny baby. And you've looked at that all your life, wondering what happened to that little baby boy.
Yeah.
And here he is.
Here he is.
Not such a little baby boy,
He's grown a hell of a lot.
I suppose I'll always be a baby in my mummy's eyes, won't I?
Yeah.
And Richard, for you, I can't imagine what it's like now to finally sit next to your birth mum.
I suppose it's another branch in the family tree in some ways. I've got this whole new family and a lifetime to catch up.
You glad you opened Pandora's box?
Yep.
Yeah.
Everywhere,
I'm
yes.
glad he did too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for getting in touch with Surprise Surprise and letting us be part of this. It is so, so special. We are so pleased to be here and reunite you. A huge round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, Joan, Megan and Richard. Well, that's it for tonight's show and for the series. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you to Ed McKeever and Ollie Mers. But the biggest thanks of all goes to the amazing people who have truly deserved their surprises. If you want to get involved in the show, go to itv.com/surprise. And until next time, goodbye.